Hi, my name is Ken Hamilton, CEO of Total Tech, and I'd like to welcome you to Have You Configured It Out? Our video series highlighting key technology partners and their product solutions. We hope you find these videos provide value so that your technology solutions are operating at maximum efficiency. And I'd like to give a huge thank you for watching and listening. And don't forget to subscribe, sign up for our notifications, and please smash that like button. If you have any ideas of future videos, let me know in the comments below. We read all of your messages.
Hey everyone, Derek Snyder here, a channel engineer with Sophos. Going to be bringing you some tips and tricks today, in particular specific to Intercept X and some configurations and some policies that are often overlooked. Bringing you this little video today in partnership with Total Tech, one of our awesome partners here for many, many years with Sophos. Before I do that, let me just jump right in here. I'm going to share my screen out. Real quick reminder for you who Sophos is, where we play. We have a network of labs there at the bottom where it says Sophos Labs, feeding all the intelligence into all of our products. Sophos Central is the common cloud managed platform for all of our products. And then you see the top left, Intercept X, our flagship endpoint protection product that we're going to be focusing on today in this brief little video. You'll notice other products in this console or on this slide here: firewall, optics, encryption, server, phish threat, mobile, wireless access points, mail filtering, right? If you have questions, you want to see demos, you have more questions, you want to dive deeper on any of these products, please reach out to Total Tech and we can schedule that out, no problem. But today we want to jump right in to the Intercept X configuration tips. I'm going to share out my screen here. You're going to see the Sophos Central platform here. I'm going to jump right over to endpoint protection and policies. And there's going to be just 4 things I want to share with you here. The first thing is threat protection. I'm going to show you the base policy. I recommend you check all of your policies to double check that you have some key protections enabled, right? In this case, in the threat protection policies, there's a few things that I find when I do configuration reviews with customers that's not enabled. There can be different reasons why they're not enabled. Right now, we just want to make sure we get them enabled for you so that you have the best protection. Deep learning is one. Make sure this deep learning is enabled. That's a proprietary machine learning, looking at executable files very quickly, determining if they're good or bad, right? Make sure that's enabled. As you scroll down here, CryptoGuard, that's our proprietary last line of defense against ransomware. You want to make sure you have that enabled to ultimately protect your data if any ransomware gets through all the layers of protection. And then finally, you want to double check all these exploit protection pieces here, right? So double check all those, make sure they're all selected. And then the final thing I want you to do is come up and go ahead and select the use recommended settings button, which will ensure that most of that is selected, but I still want you to double check that it's actually selected first, okay? So check your threat protection policy. That's the first tip. Next thing that I want to share is peripheral control. So this is sometimes just kind of passed over, not really a lot of prioritizing, priority put on it sometimes because it's not that new, cool, shiny product as far as like Intercept X with EDR and ransomware protection and exploit prevention and signatureless, next gen, right? Sometimes what we like to call this one is exposure prevention, right? So preventing stuff from getting on the machine to begin with, right? Really limiting your risk and your exposure to threats, particularly around removable storage. So you can actually put controls on removable storage. So think about USB sticks that someone would plug in. Particularly in today's day of COVID and people working from home more, they're more apt to plug in their kids' USB stick into their own work computer real quick to maybe grab a file or do something. Make sure you're only allowing sticks that you want to approve to be utilized on their machines. So you could, for example, block all removable storage, and then you can come in and actually whitelist specific removable storage. So maybe I want to say, you know what, we're going to permit SanDisk, because that's all we're going to issue is SanDisk. That's all anybody can use. But you can even get more granular and do it by instance ID, right? So the specific instance ID, what that is this specific stick I'm handing you, Mr. or Miss end customer, end user, this is the only one that you can use on your laptop, right? So take advantage of peripheral control. It comes with your licensing. It's in the console here. Get that configured, limit your exposure. The next one is application control. Same thing, we have thousands of applications in here that you can choose to block, right? So think about network monitoring tools, Wi-Fi stumblers, packet capture tools, not appropriate for most of your end customers, your end users, I should say. Come in and create a policy for those, block it for them. Maybe you have a policy for IT staff where it's permitted because they have legitimate use for those. Another example might be browsers. There's about 96 browsers we have in here. Go ahead and block all those and then just go permit the couple that you want to permit, right? So you're not opening up exposure to maybe some vulnerabilities within, obviously a lot of random browsers, or maybe they're able to bypass gateways and proxies, or they could have malware. And then there's all kinds of reasons you want to block, right? All these random browsers. And then finally, toolbars is a great one. Block all toolbars, 83 of them. Nobody needs it to get their job done in most cases. You just want to block them. Again, malware, system performance, vulnerabilities, all good reasons to block some of these things. But again, come through here on your own. System tools, there's 212. Check all these things out. Take advantage of that policy and get some of these applications blocked that will limit your exposure to threats on your network. And then finally, the last thing I want to point out is data loss prevention. So data loss prevention is Sophos endpoint data loss prevention. What we're doing is looking at sensitive data trying to leave your endpoint, in motion from your endpoint to certain destinations. Common question I get is, are you looking into emails and bodies of emails? No, that's not what we're doing with this. What we're actually doing is looking at that sensitive data, that file that you're trying to move. It could be attaching to an email client. It could be a web post to a browser. It could be taking it and removing it to removable storage, right? Sensitive data. So let me show you real quick what that looks like. I'll create a new content rule. We'll call this one social security number. You want to get the alerting when someone tries to transfer that file. You can allow it. You can allow it if they confirm, so it's not an accidental data breach, or you can block it. And then this next page is where it's really going to click and make sense for you here. But let's say we're primarily doing business in the USA. I filter those templates here. If you're a medical office or you're handling sensitive HIPAA data, we have HIPAA templates built in, PCI, payment card information if you're handling that, PII for personal identifiable information. In this case, I said social security numbers. So I can come in and select a social security number template. I can decide how many matches trigger the rule. And then again, selecting the destinations. So emails, internet browser, some instant messaging processes, VoIP, and then the other one, removable storage, is the other big one, right? So making sure someone can't take a document with sensitive data onto that removable storage, that USB storage device that you might have just whitelisted on the other policy, right? But so this is data loss prevention, really great. Again, included with your licensing. Usually what I hear is, we're not using this today, but if you're giving it to me, I'll find a way to use it. So take advantage of it. This all limits your exposure to threats, to data breaches. Take advantage. And then ultimately, if you want the best protection, go ahead and upgrade your Intercept X to our Intercept X with MTR, or Managed Threat Response Service. These are Sophos personnel in a SOC monitoring your environment 24/7, ingesting other telemetry, keeping track of your environment, looking for suspicious events and behavior. And what that team really does, and that technology, it's fusing machine learning technology with expert analysis and analysts who lead these threat hunts and are monitoring your environment 24/7, ultimately neutralizing threats very quickly so that they're not impacting all across your environment. So take advantage of that. If you want any more information on these things, on the configurations, or you want to schedule demos on anything else, reach out to Total Tech and we can set that up for you, okay? Thanks a lot for watching this today, and I hope it was helpful for you.